And now, a brief look at another form of discrimination and diversity that is often overlooked in textbooks and in general discussions about diversity, and that's appearance discrimination, or what we call Lookism. If you remember from early in the semester, one of Phyllis Day's 9 American values was the American ideal, and it speaks to what our society values in terms of appearance. Esther Howe writes that beautiful people need no further justification for their lives than just showing up, because society ascribes to them a variety of socially and professionally desirable traits just based simply on their looks. A lack of physical attractiveness, on the other hand, is interpreted as an indicator of a deficit in competence and other traits that we want to have. This is an area where intersectionality shows itself quite frequently. In the areas of gender, women and men are focused upon such issues as the build of their body and are evaluated based upon their appearance. Minorities are evaluated at times due to skin color and also whether their skin is dark or light. As far as disabilities are concerned, the differently abled don't meet the standards of appearance. Religions and cultures often dress differently, and individuals of those groups are often judged negatively because of how they dress. And in socioeconomic class, people with more money have the resources and the time to pursue improved appearances that poor people just don't have. While we have become more sensitized to other forms of discrimination, lookism has begun to be practiced more as the media raises our expectations of appearance to higher and higher standards. Very few federal laws exist in this area. We will identify one later in this discussion, but the person discriminated against because of appearance generally must address this through other areas that may be covered by law, but not based solely on appearance. Some examples of history as far as how gender intersects. Madeleine Albright was the first female Secretary of State in the Bill Clinton administration, and she was in the spotlight on the domestic and international stage. But as she writes in the book, everything from her age, weight, hairstyle, and choice of dress were scrutinized, and the policy positions that she advanced, which she thought were among her most important accomplishments, often were not taken into account. In 2005, George Bush's Secretary of State, Condoleezza Rice, was labeled by the Washington Post as a dominatrix as she was photographed stepping out in knee-high, black-heeled boots during a visit to the Wiesbaden military base in Germany. Media commentators have often chose to report on Senator, then Secretary of State, then 2016 Democratic presidential nominee Hillary Clinton's man suits and comment frequently on her hairstyles despite her long list of professional accomplishments. In fact, she stated at one point that she quite deliberately stopped focusing upon hairstyles in order to get attention placed upon what she was saying and not how she looked. Sarah Palin, former governor of Alaska and the 2008 Republican vice presidential candidate, was the subject of a great deal of positive media attention due to her conventionally attractive appearance, and she suggested that the focus on her appearance ignored her professional and policy accomplishments. Beauty does create a halo effect, and it predicts that people hold more positive expectations for attractive than unattractive people. People behave more favorably toward attractive people, and this more favorable treatment results in higher self-concept for attractive people, and because of that, more positive outcomes. In one study, respondents said that appearance discrimination was more important to them and more significant than ethnic discrimination. Salaries and promotional opportunities have been shown to be lower with people who are plain and unattractive appearing. It's called the plainness penalty. And pay differential has been shown to be as much as 20% between attractive and non-attractive people. Attractiveness also tends to increase a person's chance to get hired to begin with, and better-looking executives bring in more business for their company, according to several studies that have been conducted. From the beginning of their lives, those perceived to be unattractive suffer the penalty. Parents tend to respond more lovingly to attractive children. Peers prefer more attractive playmates. Teachers have higher academic expectations of attractive students. Infants as young as 14 hours old have been shown to react more favorably to attractive faces. Even cats have been shown to respond more favorably to attractive people. Yes, that's true. Unattractive people tend to discriminate against themselves and experience higher levels of self-hate, and this results in a lot more social isolation and social withdrawal. And because of this, unattractive persons tend to have fewer friends and fewer romantic experiences. On average, physically attractive individuals have more friends, have better social skills, and have more active sex lives. Of all the groups, obese women and short men tend to suffer the highest level of prejudice because of appearance in our society. Researchers from MIT found that the part of the brain that lights up when men are shown a picture of a beautiful woman is the same part of the brain that lights up when a hungry person sees food or an addict needs a fix. In 1987, the Harvard Law Review reported that the most physically unattractive members of our society face severe discrimination. This is a serious topic. People who are regarded as unattractive were at one time even barred by law from appearing in public places in some areas of America. These were known as the ugly laws, and unsightly people were given fines when they were seen in public. The unattractive are treated poorly in such diverse contexts as employment and hiring decisions, in criminal sentencing, and in renting apartments. But there's no legal recourse. If the question of being declared a minority group should come up, the Harvard Law Review says that the physically unattractive do not constitute a cohesive group. So a thin person with an unattractive face may feel very little kinship with an obese person. Physical unattractiveness is a continuum, and neat determinations are impossible, the Harvard Law Review said. The Americans with Disability Act does consider extreme obesity to be a disability, however, so this is one area of appearance that may be able to be addressed in the law, but this appears to be the only appearance-related condition addressed by the law in the United States, and this really is more about health than about appearance. An author by the name of Nancy Etkoff, who wrote a book called The Survival of the Prettiest, believes that the human preference for attractiveness is rooted in evolutionary instinct, and that trying to prevent it from influencing people would be telling them to stop enjoying food or sex or novelty or love. She says that being prized for it is not a social evil. This is something of the same explanation that essentialists and evolutionary experts point to when explaining how it is that football players always get the girls. It is said to be something that strengthens the species, and evolutionary people believe this is a positive factor. Appearance discrimination is very real in its consequences for its victims, both in personal life and in the workforce, and the ramifications of it go far beyond the immediate suffering occasioned by feeling left out or rejected, when considering how different one's life could be if appearance wasn't an issue. And we are capable of altering our appearance through plastic surgery and physical activity and weight loss programs and so on. So there's really a lot of pressure on individuals these days to alter their physical appearance to attain perfection. But the question is this something that should be this way? And of course, those that are economically disadvantaged are less able to afford these kinds of opportunities to change their appearance. So this is a short talk on Lookism. There's more information out there on this topic if you're interested, but these are some of the most useful points that I found. Thank you.